Those howls we used to hear. Turns out they were werewolves.
Down here, they sounded like caged dogs. I hope someone said it.
What? You got more bad news? Or you just want to bother me for the fun of it? You saying she's dead? Damn. She was a fine-looking Nord girl. Shame that happened. She, leave a note or anything? Not like in that way, but maybe she had some feelings for me. I know she fancied me, even if she didn't say so. It was that damn Kelbarn, wasn't it? Always mooning over her. Never thought she'd be stupid enough to fall for him. Well, just give me the samples. I'll pay you for the trouble. You take your money and get out of here. A shame Nguya won't be coming around anymore. I liked when she was nearby, if you know what I mean. Walk off, pal. No time for useless chatter.
What?
I used wood from Huffenbauen.
Is it?
So, do we have a way to defend against the Harrow Storms or what?
The elixir should do what we need, provided neither Fen nor I made any miscalculations.
Yolen, don't be so negative. The elixir will work. You'll see. Oh, good. You're back. Mjolin and I have been discussing the various ways to turn what we've got into a protective elixir. I'm hesitant to get too excited, but I think we've figured out how to defend against the Harrow Storms. The Grey Host uses an unstable mix of alchemy and sorcery to create the Harrow Storms. An arcane ritual and the Netherroot brew focus the power of each Harrow Storm through the prepared witch pikes. Ingenious, but fully exploitable. We can use the refined brew as the basis of our elixir. Now that we understand how the Harrow Storms are created, we can use those same components to replicate the medallion's protective properties. We just need to gather the necessary components. Svana's associate, Mog, will procure most of the supplies I need, but there's one final ingredient required. For various reasons, I can't simply walk into the Hall of the Dead and claim it myself. I need you to acquire Arkay's sacred oil. A holy ointment associated with a god that became popular due to imperial influence. It's used by the priests in the Hall of the Dead to provide protection against necromancy and the undead. We need that oil to create our elixir.
You'll need my help. I'll meet you at the Hall of the Dead. Mog, put away the tankard and get the supplies Fen requires.
Yes, your royal ladiness. But I'm keeping the tankard.
What do you want?
You're here. Don't worry, I have your pay. I'm just finishing my notes. Though, if I'm being honest, I'm not as confident as I once was that my theory is correct. How can I really know that my spell worked? Not really. My whole theory depends on the idea that a dragon buried in that mound could conceivably rise from the dead. We know necromancers can raise human skeletons, so why not dragons? That's what my ward is supposed to stop. No. I researched thoroughly to make it unbreakable, but I just don't know if it worked. I expected some kind of reaction, but there was nothing. I don't know. What do you think? How should I present my findings to the Circle? You're right. I may not like it, but it's true. I'm sure I cast a good ward, but there are just too many unknowns. I don't want to seem overconfident or brash. I'll tell Gabrielle everything I learned, but I'll let her decide what to make of it. Now, I need to get up the nerve to report my findings. Part of that includes telling Gabrielle that I went against her wishes. Hopefully she'll go easy on me. Thank you for listening, and for all your help. Oh wait, we're not done yet! I promised you compensation for your help, and I'm a Breton of my word. I know it's not much, but take this. And may we never see dragons over Solitude. Thank you for all your advice about the Antiquarian Circle. Who knows? Maybe we'll have another adventure together. I think I'll wait a bit. Gabrielle might assume I'm just an overeager newcomer if I present to her without preparing. I want to organize my research so she can look it all over. I want her to see that I didn't make wild assumptions. Hopefully, she'll see that my theory has merit. It may not have all the facts she wants, but that just means it needs more investigating. She might even agree to let me continue my research in the field, this time with experienced help.
Gods, more refugees arrive by the hour. Why does Svargrim hesitate?
The High King issues orders, but all they do is lock away the afflicted. When will we strike back?
Princess Vana, what can I do for you, Your Highness?
Listen to my friend, High Priest. We need your help.
I'm surprised to see the princess here. As you can see, the influx of refugees has made this place much more hectic than usual. Is there something I can do for Princess Vana? Sacred oil? Strange. That's the second time today someone has come seeking Arce's anointing balm. Sword Thane Athlet arrived with an edict from the king. Demanded our entire supply. How we're to consecrate the dead without it, I have no idea. The Sword Thane wouldn't say. He just mentioned that the High King needed it to defend Solitude. I'm sorry I can't comply with the princess's request. Things are hard enough that these refugees must take shelter here among the dead. The Sword Thane took the oil to Castle Dower. That's where all the supplies for a siege are gathered during periods of strife. I pray that High King Svargrim receives the patience and wisdom required to see us through this crisis. Solitude's foundation began with the construction of Castle Dower. It's the oldest structure in the city, and the most defensible. I tried to move the refugees there for safekeeping, but my request was denied. The High King has other plans, I suppose.
This work isn't going to do itself.
Hold! Castle Dower is... Princess Vana.
Sword Thane, our business is urgent. My friend will explain.
I don't have time for the princess's proclivities right now. The High King... We barely keep up with the multitude of tasks, so speak quickly and let me get back to it. My orders from the High King were clear. Stockpile the entire supply of sacred oil in the Temple of the Divines here within the confines of Castle Dower. What in Shore's name does the princess need with holy oil anyway? Protection? Truly? The Herald already outnumber my soldiers, and more arrive every day. Still, giving you the oil would violate the High King's edict. I suppose if I happened to look the other way for a moment, I wouldn't notice if a flask disappears.
A single flask? Then we'll have to make do. Let's get it back to...
Sword Thane, by his work! I gave strict orders, yet my daughter freely enters the castle grounds. What do they want, Sword Thane?
They,
We came to offer our assistance, Father. Sword Thane, how can we help?
Athlet has everything well in hand, child. Despite your intentions, you would only hinder our efforts. Go! The sword thing doesn't need my daughter or her wastrel underfoot.
My father's never been what I'd call a warm and caring parent. But this crisis has made him even more distant. Let's get the sacred oil to Fen. My father will certainly change his attitude once we present the protective elixir to him. He's trying to protect me. It's what he does. And leave me out. Though I suppose that's mostly my own fault. I know Mother's death weighs on him. As does this entire crisis. That's why we have to help. This elixir is going to work. It has to. It's not that unusual. Castle Dower is the most defensible part of the city. In the past, we'd gather the people inside the walls. Now my father is using the fortress to house the Herald. They need to go somewhere, right? Come on, let's go.
Yeah!
What?
Once it's ready, I'll test the elixir.
As you say, Lyris. Ah, here they come now. You have the sacred oil? Add it to the cauldron. Yes, a perfect fusion. It's ready to be tested. Come, let's talk. With the addition of the sacred oil, the elixir is complete. Before we produce enough to distribute to the people of Western Skyrim, we need to test it. I'm confident of my work, but we're dealing with powerful forces here. We can't wait for the next Harrow Storm to strike, but what you and Svanna learned in Blackreach might help. You heard that Exarch Ulfra was testing Harrow Storm rituals in a place called the Undergrove. We'll go there and let Lyris drink the elixir. During my explorations of Blackreach, I came across an ancient burial site, a place called the Midnight Barrow. This undergrove must be inside those ruins. Once there, you and Svanna keep watch from a safe distance, while Lyris steps into the storm. From what I could tell, the Midnight Barrow sank into Blackreach in the distant past. Somewhere in its chambers, we'll find the undergrove. The ruined barrow is in the Lightless Hollow, in the northwest portion of the cavern. We'll meet you there. We're going to find an active Harrow Storm in the Undergrove, or I'm going to attempt to replicate one in there. Then Lyris drinks the elixir, exposes herself to the dark magic, and we wait to see what happens. Very risky, but it's also our best chance to counter the Harrow Storms and fight back against the Greyhost. Either Lyris comes through fine, or she transforms into a Harrowed. Or a Harrow Fiend. That's also a possibility.
Get yourself killed, you old fool. See if I care. Oh! You startled me. Well, you certainly have the look of an adventurer about you. How would you like to chase down my idiot husband and make sure he doesn't get himself killed? Vigor reached 73 years old last month, but still thinks he can adventure like he's 20. He heard rumors about strange creatures picking off miners down here, so he and Pickle set out to kill a few for old time's sake. Vigol's dog. I trust him to keep Vigol safe most days, but he's getting up in age too. Pa, I never should have married a Nord. Always with the heroics. Would you find him and go with him? I'll pay you what I can. I just want him safe. Thank you. Vigol may be an old fool, but he's my old fool. And goddammit, I don't know what I'd do without him. You'll find him in the mine. He can't have gone far. I was giving him an earful just a few minutes ago. It's been abandoned for years. The locals call it Lightless Hollow. Some say it's haunted. Rumors started popping up about awful pale creatures lurking inside. There were attempts to reopen it, but the miners who tried never came back out. Besides being a courageous idiot, he's the greatest man I've ever known. He's proud, whip-smart, and surprisingly fit for his age. But he ignores his own limitations far too often. Now that he's getting older, I worry for his health.
What is it, Pickle? You smell something, boy. Lightless Hollow is a dangerous place to wander, friend. I've heard rumors of bloodthirsty creatures roaming these tunnels. I fear they might be the ones responsible for a group of missing miners. If you value your life, I advise you to turn back. Yes, and that's putting it kindly if the rumors are true. I've heard them called a number of different things. Bogles, clattercoats, snow ghosts. Pale, hunched things with noses like bats and pointed ears. I plan on killing any I see. You ran into Telene, did you? A good woman. But the older I get, the more she worries. I'll admit I'm not as young as I used to be. But can I not have this one last adventure? I've made my decision. Come along if you like, but don't try to stop me. Lovely. Pickle and I are glad to have you, right, boy? I think he's found an odor of interest. He's quite the tracker, you know. Follow that scent, Pickle. Lead on, and we shall endeavor to keep pace. Got something, Pickle? Lead on. What is it, Pickle? Good boy. One of the miners. Poor bastard. Sorry we were too late. How strange. A blade made of chitin. How odd. I've never seen anything quite like it. The craftsmanship is unusual, too. Aside from the fact that no one uses them? At least no one that I've ever heard of. Harvesting chitin tough enough to use as a weapon is much more complicated than simple forging. It's not easy work, which is why you don't see them around too often. It's possible these Bogles are intelligent enough to do something other than steal livestock and haunt nightmares. But one blade is hardly enough to go on. This looks like where the miners set up camp. See if you can find anything else of interest. Pickle seems to be onto something. You search the camp while I see what he's onto. Did you find something? A bit of machinery. Must have been terrible. I can't imagine being stuck down here, afraid that something is lying in wait in the darkness. Was there anything else? Perhaps they still live. Maybe we're not too late after all. That gives us something to go on, at least. Looks like Pickles got a scent again. Let's follow him. Wait for us, boy! Well, look at that. I suppose we found our dwarven ruins. Ah, this chasm is no obstacle. I'll simply use this. Ah, sorry. I got ahead of myself. Not to worry. Pickle will help you find another way round.
You're not one of those things. I didn't think I'd see another living person down here. I was. We were down here to reopen this place after it got abandoned, but we got attacked by these horrible monsters. They overran our camp, dragged the others off. I managed to get away, but gods, it was awful. They were pale and sickly looking, hunched over like old hags with sharp teeth. Had this weird armor, too. They killed Trilva. He was my friend. They're going to kill the others, too. I just know it. Stop them, please, I beg you. I'm getting out of here. Please, find the others. Save them.
You made it! Not that I had any doubt. Pickle's sense of direction is unparalleled. Couldn't ask for a finer adventuring companion. Did you have any trouble along the way? Then we must mount a rescue. How thrilling! I couldn't have asked for a better send-off. I'll scout an escape route for us to ensure that we have a way out. You track down the miners. We'll meet up and make our dashing getaway. Excellent! Keep Pickle with you. He's likely to come in handy. Oh, this is shaping up to be a fine last adventure. We're not finished yet, I know, but I'm already in your debt. You've helped grant an old man's last foolhardy wish. Let's finish this!
The sooner we get out of this place. Mankind, please get us out of here. We had to watch as those hideous creatures killed our friends. I can still hear the screams. I just want to go home. How did you even find us down here? Oh, that must have been Skeg. Thank the gods he's still alive. Those monsters are everywhere. How are we going to get out? Lead on. We'll do our best to keep up.
Quickly, up here! Excellent work, my friend. And Pickle, of course. Come, we must not waste time. I found another way out of here. The passage beyond this door is the most direct route back to the camp. Though, there is one small problem. Unfortunately, once I passed through it, a switch was set off, and it locked behind me. I've a bit of experience with dwarven mechanisms, actually. There's a trick to releasing them from the ledge above the door. My grappling device should get me up there. And remind me to tell you how I discovered it sometime. Oh, it's a fine story. When I give the word, you throw the door lever, while I tug on the counterweight. The door should open with no trouble. I'll need to keep a solid grip on the counterweight to keep it from closing on you. You let me worry about that, friend. Just get everyone else out safely. Now, if you're ready, let's get a move on. The culmination of my final adventure awaits. Okay, shouldn't be but a moment. Just need to find the proper... There it is. Bit more. Wait, something's coming. Go, get to safety. I'll draw them away.
You made it. But wait. Where is my husband? Where's Vigol? What's become of my husband? He what? How could you let him do that? How could you leave him behind? He could have... Oh, Vigol, my love. No, please no. I can't bear this world without you by my side. Why did he have to go and do such a thing? I suppose you're right. He truly was a great hero. Perhaps it was a fitting end for him. Thank you for going into that dark place at his side. It comforts me to know that he wasn't alone down there.
Don't plan the funeral just yet, love.
Vigol, is it really you?
Who else? Ah, what a finale that was. Sorry if I gave you a bit of a scare. That was closer than I'm proud to admit. But it all worked out, didn't it? This has been a memorable conclusion to a long and storied career. Thank you for your fellowship. And your indulgence. Escape? Bah! I drove them off, killed as many as I could. But I had to run when I got the opportunity. It's not exactly a comfort to know the myths of pale beasts that steal babes and slaughter livestock are real. But it felt good to gut some. Not sure I really want to know. Anyway, thanks for looking after Pickle. The way he's looking at you, oh, I don't know that he's ever looked at me that fondly. I think you've made a friend for life. And you've certainly found one in me as well. I used my wits, my faithful dog, and my grappling hook to rescue those who needed rescuing, and made it back in one piece. Best of all, I made a new friend. It was everything I hoped for and more. Here, take this as a token of my appreciation. Now, I take on the most challenging adventure of all. Marriage. Full time. I got damn lucky with Talene. She's better to me than I deserve. I'm going to spend the rest of my life making it up to her. My friend, I will always be the king of my castle, but from now on, I think I'll let Talene make all the decisions. I'm happy just to be with her. Wherever she takes me, I'll gladly go.
Please, 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 please don't make me do this! Ah! Oh, thank God you're not one of these tomb robbers. Or another ghost. I've had my fill of ghosts. Mainly one ghost, honestly. A distant ancestor. Every time I try to sleep, he's in my dreams. I've barely had an hour's rest since I came to Dusktown. It's going to kill me if it doesn't drive me mad first. He's been... to put him to rest, I think. He's being tormented as much as he's tormenting me. I came to this terrible place to find his remains, but the tomb robbers have angered the dead, and I'm terrified to step foot into the barrow alone. My damned ancestor is the traitor Jarl, Hagridden. He was buried alive in the Midnight Barrow long before I was born. Unfortunately, he has no tomb, and what's left of him has been scattered around by these Draugr thieves. My family only speaks his name to curse it. I'm told he betrayed his hold, so he was cast into the Midnight Barrow with other exiles and traitors, far out of reach of Sovngarde. I can't say whether he deserved that, but I know he suffered for it. Call it a feeling. What I've seen in my dreams are a jumble of incoherent events and feelings. There's little that I remember that makes any sense, but when I wake, there's a pall that hangs over me, like I've been wronged somehow. This place, I think. I've only seen glimpses of it in my dreams. It used to be a place where terrible criminals were exiled to be forgotten, until it met the same fate. Faded into myth, just like Blackreach. Ghouls picking the bones of the dead, necromancers and the like. They seem to be the ones who found this old lost barrow. I don't know what they came here for, but they've disturbed Jarl Hagridden, and gods know what else.
You and Fen stay put until we clear a path to the Undergrove.
Fine. Just don't take all day. I saw my ancestors' remains in my
Look
dreams.
lively and let's get on with it.
But I only know roughly where they are.
Don't you love me, Hagridden? Do you want to see me grow old, wither, and die? It's a small sacrifice for eternity.
Listen to yourself, Esinia. Even one life is too many. I can't make that kind of sacrifice, not even for you.
Sacrifice? Just what was that woman asking for?
That's the wrong way. If you have something else more important to do, fine. I'll just wait here.
You thought no one would find out? That none of us would survive? One is enough to expose your treason.
I gave no such order!
I have your betrayal, penned in your hand and stained in our blood!
So that was his crime? Sending his soldiers into a trap? Careful of the Draugr. They'd sooner make a corpse of you than talk.
This must be the place. I'll go
No
back
need.
and get...
We're here.
The princess insisted.
We followed at a safe distance and only advanced after you cleared the way. From this point on, we stay together. And that's an order.
Yes. What she said. Now, let's enter the Undergrove.
For your treason against your hold and your people, we cast you from the halls of your ancestors. May they never know your name.
I did not betray my hold. She's the one who should face your judgment.
Seal him in.
Oh, gods! I can feel his terror! It's suffocating!
Jarl Hagridin has a matter of urgency for you to attend to.
What does he know to send us this far into the Reach?
You have your orders, Thane. I trust you know enough to carry them out.
That's everything. Let's get out of here with Hagridin's remains before we join these tortured souls. I can't believe I'm still alive. That place will haunt my nightmares long after my damned ancestor's ghost gives me rest. May I have him, please? I can't help but pity Hagridden, despite what he's put me through. I felt his torment. An eternity in the Midnight Barrow seems cruel, even for a traitor. From what I saw, it seems like he was the one who was betrayed. Was he really innocent? That was my feeling, but I didn't know if it was Hagridden affecting me. I wonder what became of the woman who betrayed him. Did she get what she desired from those people's sacrifice? I'll take them to a temple for consecration, and see that he gets a proper burial. It won't be a Jarl's funeral, but hopefully it'll allow him to reach Sovngarde. Then I can finally get some rest. You've spared us both. Thank you.